Hi, and welcome to Harvester's Circle of Hope 2021, Better Together. I'm Phil Witt. I'm a member of Harvester's Board of Directors. Traditionally, Harvester's Circle of Hope has been an in-person event where we've recognized individuals and organizations who've gone above and beyond as extraordinary partners in a given year. But as you all know, this past year and a half has been far from ordinary. So this year, we're coming to you virtually, and we've added the phrase, Better Together, as we recognize all of you who have helped us fight hunger during this unprecedented and challenging time. Defined as in combination, collectively, united in agreement, and without interruption, together summarizes our pandemic reality. Together, since March of 2020, we have accomplished a lot, as you can see here. At no other time in our history have our partnerships with agencies, volunteers, and donors been more remarkable or more impactful. Together, we united without interruption to nourish neighbors across the 26 counties we serve. This year, you are all winners. You are all part of our Circle of Hope. We'd like to take the next few minutes to share with you stories from some of those who have sought food assistance from our network, so you can see firsthand the impact our collective efforts have on the lives of so many of our neighbors.
Hello, I'm Valerie Nicholson Watson, President and CEO of Harvesters. Thank you for joining us. Thousands of families, many for the first time, turned to our network for help during the pandemic. And thanks to you, we were able to increase our food distribution to help meet a massively rising need. Working with partner agencies, we added 60 new mobile distributions. Families face challenges of lost jobs, homeschooling children, and illness. But Harvesters Network helped ensure that having enough nutritious food was not another challenge.
Dominique Diedzik enjoys spending time with family. The single parent, her mom, and 2 daughters all live together. Mealtime is something they're even more grateful for these days.
Which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen.
The pandemic, a tough time for many families, but it's brought unique challenges for Dominique.
I didn't expect to lose my job. And you can be okay one day and then some event happens and you worry about, are we going to be okay?
The job loss came as Dominique suffered complications from a rare joint disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She needed surgery.
I had to have my ankle fused. And so right before my surgery, I lost my job and then still had the surgery. And then it didn't go quite right. So my foot is kind of at an angle it shouldn't be on.
All that as schools closed and she was homeschooling her kids and trying to help neighbors.
So it's just a very hard time, but we were trying to make the best of it.
Unemployed and needing to provide even more meals at home was stressful, so she turned to Harvesters for help. Mobile distributions, a lifeline to feed her family and neighbors in need.
You guys helped me maintain a normalcy for my children that it never fazed them. They were never worried about any of that, and I'm so thankful for that.
The girls loved the variety of fresh foods.
We were in the car, and then I saw peaches, and I got very excited. Me and my sister both like fruits a lot, so when we saw the fruit, and we were like, okay, when we get home, we can cut them, and then we can have a snack. And so it's nice.
The overwhelming kindness of the volunteers and community's generosity to get these meals is not lost on these kids.
I felt really happy for my mom, since there was just like a lot of stress happening, and she could finally take a break for all the stress. Once Harvesters was there, it was much easier for her. Just thank you. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy. Thank you.
The pandemic's financial strain ultimately led to the family losing their home to foreclosure, but they're in a much better place now.
We're okay again, and maybe we wouldn't have been if we didn't have that help in the middle. And so sorry, that is one of the messages I wanted to get across, is sometimes people just need help in between, and then, you know, people can get back on their feet.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis, Chief Operating Officer for Harvesters. The pandemic has perhaps had the biggest impact when it comes to hunger on children. Virtual school meant many children missed out on breakfasts and lunches provided by schools, bringing an additional financial burden for parents to provide these meals. Harvesters work to connect children and their families to our network of pantries, kitchens, and mobiles. We work with school partners to reach as many students as possible with Back Snacks, our weekend feeding program. And for our after-school and summer feeding program, Kids Cafe, we supported federal efforts to reduce barriers for accessing these meals, help partners change distribution models, and identified new feeding sites. Our families were grateful to have these resources to turn to.
An empty classroom, a hard reality for Stacia Martin to face. The Kansas City Public Schools instructional coach devastated when classrooms closed 18 months ago.
It's still just hard to wrap our heads around what we've been through in the last year and a half.
She came back to work here at Woodland Early Learning Center last fall, but her own 2 kids stayed home.
So my mom has a first grader doing virtual learning and my very rambunctious, at the time wild, 3-year-old to also take care of.
Providing the extra meals with the kids at home was a financial strain. She learned about Harvester's mobile food distributions through a KCPS colleague.
You know, I kind of had to get over that pride. Like, this is something that can really benefit my family, and they're saying that they have the food, and there's usually like the fresh meals and then like the shelf stable meals, you know, and if we needed to take the shelf stable meals that day, then that's what we would do. We just appreciated whatever came.
She and fellow teachers, along with student advocates, also helped make sure district families knew how to access food during the pandemic. Good nutrition, a key to good learning.
When our kids come in hungry, we know they cannot function. They have to have food in their bellies to learn. That we know that as a fact.
Child feeding programs are still needed now. 10,000 Back Snacks packed by volunteers provide key nutrition on weekends when school lunches aren't available. The program feeds kids across 26 Kansas and Missouri counties every week. Kids Cafe sites like this one at the Kansas City Public Library are also a critical lifeline for families like the Farnsworths. Joseph is a father of 5, including a newborn.
The library does make it a lot easier because we take it, grab it, take it home, and then it's fun because the kids will go and try trading different things. It's good for them to work out things between themselves.
This food helps the Farnsworths stretch their family budget a little further while providing healthy food for their children.
My wife is especially trying to cut down on sugars and stuff like that, and so it's nice that we can come here, we can get the meals and not have to worry about going through and until explaining to the kids, well, we don't want you eating this because of that. It's nice that they can say whatever's in there you can have.
1 in 6 kids in our community continue to face hunger, and as we all come together to help feed the need, families find hope in the generosity that makes it possible.
It really blows my mind the level of care that Kansas City has, and it's refreshing and very hard times that we can come together. There is so much need still in the community, so I hope people continue to give and help families in need because that's not going away anytime soon.
Hello, I'm Robin Potts, Chief Financial Officer for Harvesters. Our senior population grows larger every day. Many are living on fixed incomes and face more health challenges than younger generations. The pandemic created new obstacles, leaving many seniors isolated and fearful or unable to visit grocery stores. Seniors continue to be forced to make tough decisions on whether or not to buy food or pay for prescriptions and other medical bills. This predicament is a no-win situation and puts their health and independence at further risk. Receiving food from Harvesters Network helps ease this hardship.
Good morning, AARP Senior Development. This is Sharon speaking. How can I help you today?
Sharon Kilmore is thankful to be back at work. The 66-year-old in the middle of a cancer battle that started in 2018.
I do 5 different types of chemo and radiation. So I'm fighting for my life, and I'm living every minute of it, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. They told me 1.5 years of life expectancy, but I have overcome that.
While hospitalized for a cancer surgery last year, she caught coronavirus. Sharon needed a ventilator and nearly died. After 3 months, she came home to a mountain of new challenges.
When I was able to come home, it was hard financially because things had gotten behind. I tried to keep my bills up with just my Social Security, which was not enough to keep my bills going.
Ongoing treatments restrict her ability to work. She's still only part-time. Her medical expenses through the roof. Sharon needs 67 medicines daily, along with chemo and radiation at Kansas City's University Health. Despite it all, she keeps a smile and positive outlook.
I just don't feed off my problems. I try to help my problems. I try to lift myself up each and every day. And some of lifting myself up is getting help with Harvesters.
Harvesters provides critical support to keep her going strong while easing the stress of finding money for groceries.
I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And with me walking through my cancer, I'm gonna walk strong. My diet is expensive for cancer. The Harvesters, that's where Harvesters really help me out because it's expensive to live off of cancer diet. The things that you have to buy at the health food stores, not the regular grocery stores, for my cancer to sustain my life. I'm pushing that forward. I'm trying to heal my body as I go along with the diet, and Harvesters is helping out.
In her work through AARP and the Full Employment Council of Kansas City, she also encourages other seniors who are often ashamed to ask for help to find hope through Harvesters.
It does a great deal to my heart because I did not know as many seniors out here that are not receiving extra income and they're struggling. And then when you tell them about it, they think, oh, well, I don't really need it. I don't, yes, you do. You really need to help save finances in your home so that you'll have finances to help yourself out somewhere else. So it's a passion for me to tell people, go to the pantries.
Nourishing food is helping Sharon not just survive, but thrive against all odds.
I'm pushing my health issues. I'm not sitting down on them. I'm living every minute and every second of the hour of the day and being grateful for it.
I'm Joanna Sebelin, Chief Resource Officer at Harvesters. The intersection of hunger and health is real. Without access to consistent, healthy food, the health of families, children, and seniors is impacted. Food insecure people face increased risk of chronic illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. During the pandemic, it's been more important than ever for people to stay healthy. Last year, we distributed more fresh produce than ever before. Strong donor support allowed us to provide refrigeration grants to many agency partners to increase their capacity to store fresh foods. Volunteers helped us sort and repackage bulk produce, and additional support from the federal government provided food boxes with produce, dairy, and protein. Our collective efforts are building stronger, healthier communities.
Dawn Waugh is a patient at Stormont Vale Health in Topeka.
I am actually a type 2 diabetic, and I am insulin dependent, and I've been insulin dependent for the last about 10 years.
She struggled to get her health under control for years, and her health wasn't Dawn's only struggle when she first started coming to the Cotton O'Neill Diabetes and Endocrine Center.
I was a little distraught because I was unemployed at the time, and I was having difficulties finding foods that were more appropriate for a diabetic. I was looking to processed foods like chips and snack cakes and, pre-prepared meals, and it just wasn't good.
Dawn's case manager knew she needed help accessing healthy foods to keep her glucose levels and blood pressure in check. These food boxes provided by Harvesters and chock full of nutritious items were a game changer. Everything inside helping Dawn learn what to look for on food labels and how to eat for health.
I found that there were some grains in there that I hadn't particularly learned about, like quinoa. I like it. It's one of my favorites, actually. I prefer that over rice any day now. And I found that the fruits, if I'm having a low, I can go grab that can of applesauce and not spike my sugar sky high.
Dawn actually looks forward to stepping on the scale these days.
Because I think the last time I saw you, I was pushing about 300.
Not only is she down 55 pounds, Dawn knows her health would have gotten much worse without this help when she needed it most.
I wouldn't have gotten myself on track. I would have still been struggling with 400 and 500 and 600 glucose readings and still struggling with the soda, my own soda demon per se. But with Chris's help, I was able to see there are better choices, and with those choices comes better feeling.
Dawn's physical condition is far better, but she's also seeing a major shift in her quality of life.
I've been able to get more physically active and do more, and I play with my neighborhood kids, and we play soccer, we play out in the courtyard, we play games. I couldn't do that before because my knees would hurt or my back would hurt.
Recipes included in these boxes have taught her new ways to keep the healthy lifestyle going. She has a new job and doesn't need our network's support now. But Dawn is forever grateful for being given a new lease on life through good nutrition our network made possible.
It really helped my husband and I be able to improve our lives in a dramatic way.
At Harvesters, our hope is centered around our commitment to our mission, to feed hungry people today and work to end hunger tomorrow. The stories we just watched together are those of trust and hope in our community. Because we all came together with trust and hope, these inspiring neighbors are leaning into hope. Because of your action, each day, food is donated, time is given, funds are invested, voices are heard, and truckloads of food are distributed to our neighbors. Whatever your part in this work, know that you are an integral part of making our mission possible. Those sharing their stories today, and thousands of others across the 26 counties we collaboratively serve, have hope because of our circle of hope. They and we are better together. Thank you, and thank you for watching.